Alright guys, I don't want to make this video too long, but I do have a Twitter now if you want to follow me. The name is MULN is King, and I got a very exciting thing to talk about. So I got evidence that we are in a 99.9999999% chance that we are going to squeeze, and this is going to be the first retail squeeze where retail actually gets to choose the bottom. There is no dilution left. They cannot stop the price from going up if you do not sell your stock. So like if there was a way to like get a petition that says don't sell to 1,000 and you saw 100,000 people sign it, we could easily make 1,000 happen. But I'm just saying, like, this is the first time ever in history, at least since 2020, since I've been watching, that a stock will have the chance to go up without any market maker influence. And so because this is true, we're going to read what it is. And again, it's 99.9% true, but you have to look at it for yourself and determine for yourself. But if you were looking for the sign to YOLO, this is it. You can watch any of my other videos and learn how the stock works. We've definitely, like the math says, we are over 5 billion shares. And that's the only time I've ever seen any stock with an SEC filing say they have more shares outstanding than authorized is with the MULN back in July 2022. But then they approved the 1.25 billion shares and they just wiped out the debt and they crashed the price. And so what's interesting is this time, if we look at what an authorized share is, so a lot of people were saying that there's 5 billion authorized shares and that when you reverse split, because there's only 184 million shares right now, that they can dilute another 4.8 billion shares because it gives them back their total bucket that they're allowed to refill. And the same guy who was telling me this posts this when I said, what is the definition of an authorized share? And he gives a great answer. And this is the legal definition from Delaware. And it says an authorized share refers to the maximum number of shares that a corporation is legally permitted to issue. To issue. Well, guess what? May 23rd, we know that there was 3.7 billion shares issued. Issued. Not common stock, not nothing to do with nothing, but is the share issued? 3.7 billion issued. We know we go down to 150 million. We know that before the reverse split, there were 780 million shares. Reverse split happens. We know that we didn't really get answers, but ultimately we know that 184 million shares are outstanding today. And we know that 16.5 million of those shares come from the 3.7 billion shares from the beginning. And so there's 16.5 million there, and if you subtract that from the 184 million, you get something like 168 million shares. And so if you take the 168 million and you times that by 9, you get 1.5 billion. If you take 1.5 billion and you add it to the 3.7 billion that we already subtracted, and we know 3.7 billion were issued, you get over 5 billion shares. Back in July 2022, they announced that they issued more shares than authorized, and because they had a dilution vote at the same time, they were able to just wipe the slate clean. Well, this time they can't wipe the slate clean because we own the shares and they don't have enough to dilute because there are no more shares. And so if there are shares that are issued but not authorized, then we know that they won't have a vote because you can't vote more than 5 billion shares, motherfucker. Surprise, motherfucker. Hard eyes, motherfucker. Rude eyes, motherfucker.